Allison here, and today we are talking about Black Opium Perfumes. I have the pillar in my collection, but I also have some flankers, and I'm just going to let you know which are my favorites, are basically ranking the perfumes, but also telling you which ones I like for which purpose. I also have the Nuit Black Opium flanker, so if you're interested, then please stay tuned. So first up we have Black Opium, the original pillar. Of the four I have in my collection, this one is probably, honestly, number 4. Even though it's the original, it's the first one that was out of the gate, made such an impact, became super popular. The fact that it's super popular is why it's down lower on my list. So let's get some of the juice on paper. So this is a dabber, so I kind of have to shake some onto the top in order to transfer it to wherever I'm trying to transfer it. In today's case, to a piece of paper, not to my skin. Okay, so when I smell this, I immediately smell that Black Opium classic smell, and what that means is basically your coffee vanilla floral smell. That's what this is, a coffee vanilla floral. And when you smell it, it's very rich smelling. It kind of wakes up your senses, probably because of the coffee. And honestly, if you've never smelled this before, the first time you smell it, it's going to catch your attention. The first time you smell it, you're going to be like, what is that? Oh my goodness, that is so amazing. But because this one is so popular, you've probably smelled it before, so it's not as shocking or enticing now when you smell it. Because now when people smell this, a lot of times it's like, oh, that smells very familiar. And a lot of times familiarity for most people can make things smell common. For example, Coco Mademoiselle by Chanel. Very beautiful fragrance. But because it's so popular and people have encountered it so much, for a lot of people at this point, it smells basic. So the disadvantage with this one is that it smells the most like that classic Black Opium smell, obviously because it's the original. And so for a lot of people, it can have that kind of basic feeling to it because they've smelled it a lot. But again, if you've never smelled this, then I say go out and smell it. You're going to love it, especially if you like your rich, seductive perfumes. This is a rich, seductive perfume. If you like Good Girl by Carolina Herrera, this isn't the same as that smell, but both of those perfumes smell like they will be worn by the same woman. The same woman that loves that dark, rich smell that you get from Good Girl by Carolina Herrera, she'll probably love Black Opium. The disadvantage to Black Opium, I've said this before and I'll say it again, is the lasting power is basically trash. On me, I have to spray it a lot to get it to last, and because I have to spray it a lot to get it to last, that's why I've never bought myself a full bottle of the original Black Opium. Instead, I bought the Opium Perfumes version of Black Opium, and that's how much I've used, even though I don't wear this a lot. But because I have to spray so much to make it last, that's why I've used up so much. And I also layer this with Road Love by Rihanna, or if I can get my hands on a sample bottle, Viva La Juicy by Juicy Couture. Road Love smells similar to Viva La Juicy by Juicy Couture. That's why I don't have a full bottle of that Juicy Couture. But basically, that scent profile works really well with Black Opium. So if you spray the Black Opium first and then you spray the Juicy Couture or the Road Love by Rihanna on top, they last quite a while. What I honestly do is alternate Black Opium, Road Love, Black Opium, Road Love. I do a lot of sprays. It ends up smelling really good and I get a lot of compliments. Next up we have Black Opium Nuit Blanche. This for the longest time was my favorite Black Opium perfume, and when I first smelled it, I knew I had to have it. Even though I love the way that the Black Opium smells, again, the lasting power was an issue, but once I smelled the Nuit Blanche and I tested it on my skin, I was like, okay, this works. So this one has a rice note. It has that Black Opium DNA, but it has a rice note added. And that probably sounds weird to think of a rice note in a gourmand perfume, but honestly there are quite a few desserts that use rice to kind of give a dessert some richness and some depth and some creaminess. And this definitely is more creamy. Even though both of the perfumes have vanilla, I think because of the rice note, that's what makes this creamier. I also like to layer this with Road Love by Rihanna. That one gets a lot of compliments as well. But the lasting power on this is a bit better than the Black Opium. So that's the reason why it's up higher for me. So this one, of the ones that are in my collection, now is number 3. It was number 2, and at one point it was number 1. But now it's number 3 because of a recent addition. So I'll go ahead and talk about the recent addition. So I recently purchased a travel spray of Black Opium Neon. Yes, Eau de Parfum Neon. I got the travel spray because I got some perfumes for my birthday, and when I was there, the Sephora sales lady, she kind of convinced me to just go ahead, get more than I had planned to get in order to qualify for some samples and stuff. I shouldn't have fallen for it, but I did fall for it, and I ended up getting this. What I love about this is that on its own, without me having to layer it with anything, it has pretty nice lasting power. Of all of the ones I have played with, this one I would say is tied with the next one as far as lasting power goes. And this one smells so different. This one, I feel like if you like that Black Opium smell, but you don't want to walk around smelling like all the other girls who wear Black Opium, this one stands out. But when I smell this one, it smells sweeter. I wonder if it has berries in it, because it kind of has a more fruity smell to it. It still has that coffee, vanilla base to it, I guess. But I definitely smell more fruits. This one smells fruitier. And maybe that's why it lasts longer, because some of my perfumes that are fruitier do last longer on me. I recently got hold of a sample of Miss Dior Absolutely Bloomy, and that one has berries in it, and it's so delicious, and it still lasts a long time on me, even though it's not as dense and thick as the original Miss Dior, the current formulation, not the older formulation. This one has a more berry smell, makes it stand out more, makes it last longer, makes it quite unique, honestly. Because at this point, I started feeling like, what else can they do with Black Opium? Like when it was announced that another flanker was coming out, I was almost like, my goodness, like can y'all just do something else? But I forgave them because they did recently come out with YSL Libre. That was brand new, and I love Libre. I own it. So I was like, okay, you want to do another flanker? Go ahead, do another flanker. At the end of the day, businesses are made for making money, and Black Opium makes money. So if you want a Black Opium flanker that lasts longer and is more of a berry tone to it, has more of a berry tone to it, is more of the fruity version of Black Opium, then get Black Opium Neon. The next one I have is called Black Opium Floral Shock. And I just want to go ahead and mention that because Neon could have really been called Black Opium Fruity Shock if they wanted to. But I see why they didn't go with that name, because it's a horrible name. But now let's talk about Black Opium Floral Shock. So this is my favorite in the Black Opium collection. This is the only one that I have a huge bottle of. This is the 3-ounce bottle, or probably 3.4 ounces. And I love the bottle the best. I love the way that the design gradiates from the top to the bottom, from this slate gray to this pinkish tone. Is see-through as far as the bottle, but of course the middle is also see-through as well. So if I'm running out of my juice, or I'm running low on my juice, I know. I hate when I can't tell if I'm running low on my juice. I start to get paranoid. But let's go ahead and spray this instead of talking about things like paranoia. So this one is my favorite because it is Black Opium with white florals being the star. White florals are a part of the Black Opium DNA anyway, but in this one, the white florals are the star, and I love my white florals. There is, I think it's just a note that says white flowers in here. I don't think tuberose is in here, but orange blossom is in here. I love orange blossom. I love white flowers. I love jasmine. So this has those elements that I love as far as white flowers go. But it also still has that coffee note in here. But in here, the coffee note is described as an iced coffee accord. And I can smell a little bit of the iciness. This one is cooler smelling. The other ones are way warmer smelling. The other ones are straight up warmth. When you smell it, you smell warmth. This one you smell a bit more coolness. That's why I have been willing to wear this in the summertime. It works for warm weather, it works for hot weather. The other ones, you can wear them in hot weather if you want, if that's just your thing, but it may be cloying to some people when you first spray it. It may be cloying to you when you first spray it. But of all of the Black Opium perfumes, of the ones that I have, this is my favorite. And I've tried other perfumes. I tried the Black Opium Intense, did not like it. The absinthe note was just too much for me, and for it to be called Intense, it still didn't last longer. So I was like, what's the point? Like, no, I would never. I didn't even want a sample or a travel spray. I was just like, I'm good on that. But this one is definitely the one that I am excited to own and happy to own a full bottle of. I got the full bottle from Fragrance Net, and I got it in the tester box. So basically when it comes in a tester box, you end up saving money because you're not paying for, you know, the full branding that you would get from having the original box. I like having the original boxes, but I don't have to have them if it means I'm gonna save some money. So just to summarize my ranking, my favorite one is Black Opium Floral Shock. I like that it has decent lasting power on its own. I don't have to really add anything else to it for it to last. The sillage is amazing. I get so many compliments whenever I wear it, and it puts me in a definite cloud of perfume when I wear it. And the other reason it's my favorite is because the white flowers in here are the star. They stand out more for me. They pop more for me. White flowers are in the composition of the other ones, but in Black Opium Floral Shock, white flowers are the star. My number 2 is Black Opium Neon, because it smells the most unique to me of the Black Opium perfumes. It has a berry note to it, it has some fruitiness to it, and so it stands out for that reason alone, because it's more of the Black Opium fruity if they wanted to go there. But I also like that it has nice lasting power on its own as well. So those two are in the top 2 because lasting power and sillage are important to me. But Black Opium Floral Shock has the better sillage. Both of them are about the same as far as lasting power. I will probably be tempted to say Black Opium Floral Shock lasts longer, but it's probably because I go crazy when I spray it. My number 3 is Black Opium Nuit Blanche. And I like this one because once I layer it with Road Love by Rihanna or Viva La Juicy by Juicy Couture, it definitely lasts quite a while. Even though it lasts quite a while, halfway through its life, it's very close to the skin. So that's why it's bumped down to number 3 for me, because again, sillage is important to me. And last and least is the original Black Opium. I have it in my collection as a miniature because it's a classic. I love having classics around, just, you know, to smell them and remember what they smell like, because me having perfume a lot of times is just almost like a hobby, not just about wearing them. I love to just every once in a while pull up a bottle and smell it. So I like to have my classics around in order to just smell them because they make me feel good. Black Opium, the original pillar, is last for me because it has the weakest lasting power of all of them. It has really good sillage when you first spray it, but the lasting power is pretty weak. So that concludes my collection of Black Opium perfumes and my ranking and descriptions of my Black Opium perfumes. If you have any Black Opium perfumes that I didn't name, then please let me know your thoughts on them and let me know what your favorites are. Or if you hate Black Opium, go ahead and let me know that as well. Alrighty, thanks for watching. Bye.